Okay, this question is fundamental. It's supposed to be the easiest question because it's the beginning of the section, but it's also supposed to be really easy to us because we have been studying for the SAT and we really know linear equations like the back of our hand. We really need to know y equals mx plus b to a perfect degree. 25% at least of an SAT is going to be about lines, so we need to know this equation by heart. And so if we do that and we study and then we look at this, this is very easy for us, right? We can look at two things. First, we want to look at the y-intercept, right? That's the b term. And so the y-intercept here is 1. And then we want to look at the slope. That's the rise over run, the change in the y over the change in x. We can go anywhere on the line to do that. And so what's happening? Every time we go up 1, we go over 1. Up 1, over 1. So our slope is equal to 1, our y-intercept is equal to 1, and choice D is the y equals mx plus b equation that matches with that. You can see, here's our b term, the plus 1, and then the slope is kind of hidden, but that's because when we have a 1 in front of a variable, we leave off the 1. It's not necessary because 1 times anything is just the thing. So 1 times x is x. We don't need the 1. It's redundant. So there we go. Perfect. Now the reason people get this wrong, obviously, is they kind of doubt themselves or they're not super confident with the linear equation. But luckily we do have a strategy that can help us if we haven't memorized things as we should have. Plug points into equations. We obviously have a lot of equations in the choices. And then we have points because that's what a graph is. It's a collection of points. So we can take a look and we can see what's going on. I'm going to pick a point a little further away from the action here. This is the point 2, 3. And I'm picking that because as I look at the choices, I see the number 1 repeatedly. And so I'm going to stay away from 1s and 0s because I'm just like, if I pick one of those, it might be harder to tell what's going on. But as you can see, if 2, 3 is a valid point, these first two choices don't make any sense. X equals 1, y equals 1, there's no 2's, there's no 3, so that wouldn't work. And then choice C, right, that's going to be 3 is equal to 2 because the y coordinate is 3, and the x value that goes with that is 2, and 3 is not equal to 2. Those are two completely different numbers. But with choice D, 3 is equal to 2 plus 1. That is true. That is more confirmation that choice D is correct. And that's why y equals mx plus b is so important. The vast majority of lines follow that format. And the SAT might do things to kind of twist it up and mess with us, but most of the time y equals mx plus b is what you're going to be using. The only exceptions, the only times that lines do not follow the y equals mx plus b format is when they're like choices A and B. These are lines that are either perfectly horizontal or perfectly vertical. So I'm just going to draw them as a learning exercise here. We don't actually need to do this on any part of the test. So looking at choice A here, x equals 1. That is a vertical line that goes through the place where x is equal to 1. So it's equal to 1 all up and down the graph. So x equals 1, vertical line. And then y equals 1 is another kind of like perfectly horizontal line in this case, and that goes through the place where y is equal to 1. So that perfectly level this way. So the reason that those don't follow the normal format is that they don't really have a slope in the traditional sense. They're perfectly flat, horizontal, that's a slope of 0, or they're perfectly vertical, which is an undefined slope. But most of the time, C and D are going to be what your lines look like. Okay, so make sure you are very comfortable with y equals mx plus b. You need it. It's going to come up again and again and again. So you want to get those points confidently every single time.